A wonderful morning to you and welcome to yet another edition of the Morning Drive on Providence Television International. It is quite a new week and yes, well, the old week has gone by. We have our new aspirations, all our aspirations by God's grace that weren't able to be achieved last week. By God's grace, it will be achieved this week. As usual, on the Morning Drive, to kickstart the Morning Drive, Providence Television International will go straight to the newspaper review segment. And starting with the newspapers this morning, we will be looking at the first newspaper this morning, which will be Business Day newspapers, where we have on the front page, Corporate Affairs Commission registration delays frustrates Nigeria's businesses. And riders to that effect, business registration takes weeks, months, say lawyers. CAC denies, says registration still takes 24 hours. We move to the next newspaper, which is the Nigerian Observer, where we have on the front page, Governor-elect Senator Kwewulu set to be sworn in on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Observer, Umahi douses concerns over state of federal roads as dry season sets in. We move from the Nigerian Observer to the Nigerian News Direct, where we have on the front page, governors endangering perception of judiciary by giving cars, houses to judges. Sarap tells Tinubu. We move from the Nigerian News Direct newspapers to the front page of the Daily Times, where we have a screaming header there. Presidency, Atiku envious of Tinubu's position, misunderstands Nigeria's current realities. Riders to that effect says ex-VP has shown more interest in undermining president than in addressing his party's internal crisis. Still on the front page of the Daily Times, NLC demands swift government action on economic hardship, fuel pricing. Another story on the front page of the Daily Times, Nigeria's fiscal deficit surges to 7.6% of GDP, exceeding targets. I will move from the Daily Times newspaper to the Daily Independent, where we have Trump's win may weaken Naira, raise debt service cost, PMS rise. Still on the front page of the Daily Independent, Sarap asks Tinubu to stop Wike governors giving cars and houses to judges. We move from the Daily Independent newspaper to the front page of the Punch newspapers, where we have state debts hit 11.4 trillion naira as federal allocations rise. That is on the front page of the Punch newspapers. Still on the front page, Punch newspapers. NLC gives governors December 1st deadline for minimum wage payments. Still on the front page of the Punch newspapers, husband arrested for allegedly setting wife ablaze in Ogun State. And on the governorship poll, Inspector General of Police bans Amotekun, orders as 15,500 ad hoc staff deployed. We'll move to the leadership newspapers, where we have on the front page, Wipeout Lakurawa now, northern leaders tell military, says terrorist sacking security agents, local vigilantes, troops pound bandits in Kebbi and Zamfara. Still on the front page of the leadership newspapers, NLC to embark on strike over new minimum wage come December 1st. And Ondo, the Inspector General of Police is saying, stay clear of election duties. IGP warns Amotekun. And then we'll move to the front page of the Daily Trust newspapers, where we have a screaming header there. Cement hits 8,800 naira as cost of building materials skyrockets. Iron rod jumps from 800,000 to 1.6 million naira in 1 year. And citizens are saying the situation dashing hopes of owning houses. Another rider to that effect, experts blame naira depreciation, transportation costs. We move from that story on the Daily Trust newspapers to the front page of the Vanguard newspapers, where we have petrol, banks loan for imports to hit 3.5 trillion naira. And still on the minimum wage issue, NLC directs workers in defaulting states to begin strike December 1st. We move to the front page of the Guardian newspapers. Delayed 2025-2027 MTF threatens budget cycle. That is on the front page of the Guardian newspapers. And 2027, Jonathan, Obi, Kwankwaso's names resound as political jostling intensifies. We move to the Nation newspapers, where we have how tax reform bills will boost revenue for tiers of government by panel. Still on the front page of the Nation newspapers, vandals disrupt bulk power on another transmission line. Just as we have another story there on the front page of the Nation, Stock Exchange tightens rules on shares buyback. And from there, we move to the Nigerian Tribune, where we have a screaming header there. Presidency gets hard on Atiku, says he's envious of Tinubu's position. And still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, IGP bans Amotekun vigilante from Ondo polls. Just as the NLC, another story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, NLC demands action on worsening hardship and economic crisis. And with that, we come to the end of the newspaper review, but don't go away as the newspaper analysis comes up next.